Well, today's the big day. The day we've been preparing for 2 years now. It's been raining all night and we're in the 30s right now. So we're right at the freezing mark. It's supposed to be freezing rain right now, but it didn't. The rain's starting to taper off. We may get some freezing rain yet today, but it looks like a big snowstorm's coming. It's supposed to get down into single digits today. And I think we're ready. I got our firewood stacked up here, drying. Well, what I should say instead of drying is it's not out in the rain. So this should last us a good 2 or 3 weeks. I got another big pile inside the house about this size. That should last us a good week or so. I think we're okay on firewood. Yesterday it was 60 degrees when I went to bed. So I came outside, it was dark, so I put my headlamp on. I got some more firewood, I split it and tested it to make sure it was all below 20%. I mean, some of it that we have is still above 20%. So I would split the piece like this, test it, see where we're at. We got lots of oak that is still above 23%. I'm having to split, check it. But things like walnut and different breeds are below 20% now. So a lot of this is walnut. What I just showed you here, that's walnut. It's below 20%. So we got plenty of firewood. So last night I didn't start the wood stove. Got up this morning, it was 64 degrees in the house, a little chilly, in the 30s outside. So I started the wood stove. It's pretty chilly now, so the house is cooled off already. It's down into the 70s. I'll probably start it again when it gets down to 68 or 65 degrees in the house. We wear sweatshirts when it gets that cold. I'll start it. That'll raise the temperature back up into the 80s. This morning it got up to 88 after I lit the wood stove, and then it dies down, and that's how we just do it. We kind of cycle it back and forth, up and down all day long. So we're good on heat. We got plenty of propane for the buddy heater just in case we need it. We won't run it. We ran it last night because the house got down to, I don't know, 73 degrees. So what I did was I started the buddy heater about 10 o'clock last night. I go to bed earlier than Carolyn. What she does is right before she goes to sleep, she shut off the buddy heater. I would imagine she shut it off quite a bit earlier than that. That buddy heater heats up the place pretty quick. So I would say probably in a half hour, 45 minutes, she shut it off. And then, like I said, it got down to 64 degrees this morning. Started the wood heater. So we're in good shape with heat. So then water, it's supposed to get down to 9 degrees tonight. Then it's supposed to get back up into the 30s for a few days, and then back down to cold temperatures, which is a lot better than it did last year. Last year it got down to the single digits and sub-zero temperatures. It really was hard for us to keep the water from freezing. This year we're in a lot better shape with water. We got that ventilation running into our water tank over here. The heat from inside the house coming in and keeps all that plumbing warm. Right now inside the tank, it's 60 degrees. It's 30 degrees outside. I don't want to open it up. So Carolyn, what she did was she got all the laundry caught up yesterday. That way I don't have to keep opening it back up because laundry takes the most amount of water. So then when it warms back up and it gets back into the 30s and 40s in a few days, she'll do laundry again and then it'll sink back down in temperature. That way we never have to open it up and let all that heat out of there to fill the tank back up. Now, if the tank does freeze, we've talked about this, not the tank won't freeze. But what will happen is the plumbing could freeze. I don't think we're gonna have a problem with it this year. I have a backup system so we can run the well. So what we'll do is we'll turn the well on. So I'll run a hose from the well here into the house through the water heater. Then I'll start the generator. And then what we'd have to do is coordinate our efforts. We'd have to make sure everything was done all at once. Carolyn get in the shower, then I take a shower. The whole time the water's running. We'd fill up buckets. We'd fill up the laundry tub. And we get everything. And then I could shut off the generator and everything's done. All the water's done until we got temperatures hot enough to warm this back up. Of course, I could take the buddy heater. If I had to, I could thaw everything out. I just open up this wall, cover it up with a blanket, and the buddy heater would warm it up. People keep saying you need to do different things. Nothing would work. Somebody said this morning, why don't I use a solar heater kind of thing, you know, paint it black. Well, you can see today it wouldn't do any good. There's no sun to heat it with. We're pretty much set so we don't have to go anywhere. I'm going to shoot myself in the foot. One of the things people always say is that you need a four-wheel drive truck. I don't think I need a four-wheel drive truck. Every time I say this, I mean, all the people coming, yeah, you gotta have a four-wheel drive truck. I live a lifestyle where I don't need a four-wheel drive truck. We don't have to go anywhere for a month. We got all the chicken feed we need. We got food, we got water. We don't need electricity. So that truck can sit there for a month, 2 months. We're fine. We can stay here completely isolated. You know, somebody criticized me once because you're not self-reliant. You still have to rely on things. I'm self-reliant for at least a couple months. Last year when everybody was on lockdown, I didn't need to go anywhere. We didn't leave this place, and we were in a lot worse shape then than we are now because we were still living in the camper. We were having to set the place up. We didn't have the solar panel set up when we got here, but we were in fine shape. Well, now we have food, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. We've got electric. The only way I know if this area loses electric, which we could lose electric if we get a freezing rain, which they're saying we did around us, not here yet. But the only way I used to know if we'd lose electric was a neighbor would come over and say, can I have a cup of coffee? We don't have any electric. And of course I'd give him a cup of coffee. Well, he's moved. I won't even know if we lose electric. So the only thing we have to run with electric is our refrigerator, 1 tablet, and 2 cell phones. As far as food, one of the things Carolyn did very well was she strategically planned out that we weren't going to eat any of the canned food that we canned this last year. We canned almost a year's worth of food. Chickens and pork and all of it. You've been with me long enough. You know what I did. Well, I was thinking, why aren't we eating this yet? Well, I was thinking, why aren't we eating this? So she planned out that we weren't going to eat it. That she was going to wait until wintertime when weather like this hit, we'd have plenty of food. So, like tonight, she's making burritos. Well, she makes her own tortilla shells. We've stockpiled flour, we've stockpiled sugar and rice, so we got years of that. That'll last us 5 years. And now we can just sit at home. We don't have to get out in our four-wheel drive. I owned a four-wheel drive one time before, and I just don't see the advantages to it. It gets worse gas mileage, more things can break on it, costs more. I don't see any advantage to it. The only time I really needed it one year was it snowed really bad, and went back and forth to work in it. Ended up running off into a ditch anyways. Now the advantage was we didn't have to call a tow truck. I was able to get myself out. The only time I've been stuck in this was this last summer. Some guy, when we were getting firewood, told me to back up in his yard, and I told him I don't want to, I'm going to get stuck. But he insisted. Well, when the tow truck driver got there, he was pulling me out. He said, put it in four-wheel drive. So he thought that a four-wheel drive got stuck. He says, four-wheel drives get stuck in this all the time. And I said, I don't have four-wheel drive. And he didn't know that. So he knew that the four-wheel drive would have gotten stuck there also. We got electric, water, food. We don't need to go anywhere. I've worked a long time to get into a position where I don't have to worry about winter. Like we've gotten ourselves in a position where the world can pretty much just shut down and I don't have to worry about it. There are things that I can't survive. I know that. For example, what just happened in Colorado is a terrible thing. And if it were to happen here, there's absolutely nothing I could do to keep it from happening to us. And I feel bad for those folks. And so the initial shock of things is difficult. But for things that could happen around here, we're pretty well prepared. We got a tornado shelter. We can survive a winter for months. Storm damage, flooding, we're in good shape. So like I said, I was criticized that I'm not self-sufficient. But I sure do feel like I could go a lot longer than most people. So I got my waterproof winds over my camera here, case or whatever you want to call it. So I can come out in the rain, and hopefully tomorrow we'll have a big snow. I'll be able to come out and show you the snow. and do my off-grid news on my new channel. I'm really looking forward to this winter hitting hard like it did last year. We're in so much better shape. And we didn't do bad last year. And now I have said a lot that I'm not a prepper, that I just want to live a self-sufficient lifestyle. And I'm criticized a lot. Yeah, you're a prepper. If you're prepared for it, you're a prepper. Preppers are always living in fear. They have to be in fear so they can be thinking they have to live in fear in order to be prepared. Oh, what's going to happen? I need to be ready for it. I don't worry about anything. I know what I need in life. I need food, water, a little bit of electricity, and I got it. I don't have to worry. I don't have to stress. I don't have to be afraid all the time. It's a wonderful feeling to have set my life up this way. Well, really all I got to do is come out here and just enjoy the bad weather. Who can say that? But I can, and I'm really looking forward to this big snow that we're going to get. I got plenty of gas for the generator. We just filled that up. That's about the only thing I have to prepare for, is for these cloudy days I need to be able to run the generator a couple hours a day. Beyond that, nothing. So I hope I can inspire you to prepare for the future without being prepared, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.